We have come to that point where it's either you manifest now or you are lost forever. We have come to the point where he who is a prisoner should labor around the clock to be free now. Because if you miss this window, you will be in prison till you die. Mark my words. The point where the sun is the brightest is at the 12 noon sun, when it is directly overhead at angle 90. That's where the sun has its brightest flavor. Our generation is at its brightest time now. But it is at this point that many people are being distracted, pulled into all kinds of paths that are not ordained by God, and chained by all kinds of appetite that continues to trivialize their spiritual progress. Nigeria is not exempted. 62 years. And we don't have the dividends of democracy to show for it. But I cannot speak as Nigeria. Rather, I cannot speak of Nigeria, as a country, because we are Nigerians. We are what makes up Nigeria. And so it's a call for the emergence of every one of us. Everybody who is in time must begin to seek the question of why quickly. Because if these seasons pass, all you will do is exist. You will exist. You probably will become a civil servant somewhere, go out in the morning, come back by 5 p.m., repeat it for the next 35 years. And then your back is bent and your hair is gray. And at old age, you will sit down in front of your house on one stool and be thinking of all the purposes that was furnishing your heart that you never did. But then your strength has been sapped out. This is the average life story of the generation before us. Some of you, again, your own plan is that you will go and attend to your need in life, and when you are through, you will now focus on God. When you go that path, you would hardly be able to come back. And so the only way forward is to marry both your job and your work together. And your work is the will of He that sent you. Your job is that thing that brings you money. And if my charge this night is basically for trees that are supposed to be fruitful by now, but for some reasons no fruits, no single fruit, yet they are green. Hey, has anybody come to meet you to complain about something that they are going through with the hope that you can help them before? Let's talk now. Has anybody come to share their challenge with you, hoping that you can help them? Have you been in a situation where somebody came to share something with you that you too you are going through, but the person does not know, and the person is hoping that you can be of help? Listen, look at me. It is your leaf. It is your leaves that have attracted the person. But there is a challenge that happens when leaves attract a person and then there is no fruit under to eat. The last tree that behaved like that, he used his leaf and attracted Jesus. Oh, and when Jesus came under it, thinking that with this kind of, no, there must be something there. He now went under it and discovered that it is a signboard for deception. Hey, what Satan has achieved with the average young man that is claiming to be a minister of the gospel in our generation, there's one impediment or another, one secret compromise or another inside. He is hiding that one, and demons are helping him to continue to do the work because they want him to become a station, a channel. The way you have 93.9 FM, there is a channel where demons want to also have the capacity to broadcast, so that from time to time you can talk about God, and then whenever they have an urgent news, they will broadcast through you. That was the arrangement in the soul of Peter, where Jesus can say only God would have revealed this thing to you, and in the next time Jesus is saying Satan. So one Peter can be a channel for God, and he can also be a mouthpiece for Satan. The master will give us, in this context, in the scripture we just read in Luke chapter 13 from verse 6 to 9, he says, give me one more year. But we are not talking about 1 year. Jesus is asking for one more season. And that's what he's begging. He ever liveth to make intercession for us. It is because of Jesus that they have given you one more season of revival. Would you miss this awakening? Are you going to miss this visitation? Hey. One more year. One more year. Let me try my best. That's what Jesus said. You know what Jesus is doing now? He is combing your parts. It is combing that is happening by every night where you are sleeping and then they just put one small encounter that can trigger prayer. It's not every dream that is a nightmare. Some nightmare is an invitation to prayer. They know that you are a selfish person. The only thing that can energize you is to touch something you love. So they'll just show you one of your loved one is dead. Hey, Jesus. And you get up that night. The work is very bulky. There are only very few men that are declaring the counsel of God to the nations. But there are many that are naming the name of the Lord and they have refused to depart from iniquity. And so only them know themselves. And Satan is happy because he loves that kind of arrangement. I want to give a very simple advice to those listening to me. You can decide today to be genuine. You can decide today to be real. Or come out to be who you are. There's no need to be fake. Just if you are in darkness, enjoy darkness well. You stole 5 naira. Another person stole 5 million. They now put tire in both of you neck to burn both of you. In that moment, wouldn't you wish that it was 5 million that you are dying for? Be who you are quickly. That person that you are, just be that person quickly. If you are with God, stand with God now. And if you don't want to stand with him, reveal who you are quickly. At least be known in one kingdom. I know here you are not there. Satan don't trust you, God don't trust you. One more year. One last season. There is a wave of revival that God has visited us with. And it comes upon us as strong insights, into revelations. It comes upon us as prayer power, as a burden for fasting. It is expressing itself in different shades, in different manner. And if you are sensitive, you will maximize this season. There are dimensions of God that you can only handle now that you are young. Press now. Press now. Press. This is why when we declared the fast, I know that till now many of you are not fasting. There is no sense of urgency. You don't know the alarm in the spirit world. You don't know the season that we are currently in. It's time to mount up. It's time to carry your wing and join your fellows in the air. It's time to become what you have made, or you have been made rather to be. It was Jesus that spoke to Judas. Say, do what you must do quickly. Become who you must become quickly. I just pray that Jesus' final procedure will not be a waste. For some of you, that one last time Jesus said, he went and for no reason, that relationship that has kept you glued to compromise. Jesus went to strike the relationship. And for no fault of your own, what was working just began to die. When spirits are trying to help you to be stable with God, make sure you maximize those seasons. And this is the season that we currently have right before us. It is an opening. It is an opening. It is an invitation to know God. I conclude with a very simple scripture. The Bible says, seek the Lord now that he may be found. Call upon his name now that he is near. Because you will eventually find out that it's not all the seasons that you have the capacity to touch God. Soon you'll be so tired. Old age will catch up with you. If your back just touch any chair, you start sleeping. Many of you have them many in your churches. They are tired. They are and it's not their fault. They have been working. Anytime they just sit down, it's time to sleep. Sleep. So tonight it's an invitation before we take the communion. The communion today is for two basic purposes. One is for restoration, and two is for exemption. Any woe, any wickedness, any strategy, any demand for blood that the election season will come with, we will take a communion that will put a seal on our own forehead. The way God will mark the various houses of Israelites, and the spirit of death will come and pass over them. God will be marking people today. By that communion, God will mark and seal you. And for your sake, anybody who is in your voyage is preserved.